The desert covers most of the corners of the world and forms a ring that surrounds the world from east to west. It is full of secrets and discoveries, and today we will introduce you to some of the strange and surprising discoveries found in the desert. So follow the video until the end. The Egyptian temple still houses hidden remains not yet discovered inside, demonstrating the greatness of Egyptian history over the years. In a unique discovery, archaeologists have caught the world's attention by finding the remains of an ancient Roman-Greek temple dating back 2,500 years in Egypt's western desert. Archaeologists discovered a statue in the shape of a man's head and 2 limestone lion statues at the archaeological site near the Siwa Oasis, which is said to have been visited by Alexander the Great. The remains date from the 2nd century BC to the 3rd century AD, and stone walls reaching 3 feet in height were also discovered, as well as the main entrance to the temple leading to a courtyard and other rooms. The temple is located 200 miles south of the Mediterranean Sea and 31 miles west of the Siwa Oasis. Experts are expected to find more remains at the site later this year, and the exact size of the large temple, or when exactly it was built, is not yet known. It is believed that these temples were economic centers for priests and locals, as well as places of worship. Experts hope that this discovery will help better understand the Greek and Roman occupation and their activities in the region. According to historians, the Greek king Alexander the Great conquered Egypt in 332 BC, and after his death, the Greek government ruled for 275 years until in 30 BC, the Romans took control of the region until 295 AD. On an exploratory expedition in 2015 to study volcanic rocks in the Sahara Desert in West Africa, a team of geologists from West Virginia University in the United States discovered a strange land formation that was a flat desert dotted with hundreds of long hills, isolated with steep slopes. Researchers soon realized that the harsh landscape they found was formed by drumlins, a type of hill commonly found in places that were once covered by glaciers. Drumlins are known to be elongated accumulations of glacial sediments, generally 1 or 2 kilometers long, and their size and shape vary depending on the origin and formation conditions of each hill in the region currently known as the Namibian Desert, which was once covered in ice in deep geological times approximately 300 million years ago. This discovery is further evidence of the changing nature of the planet since its formation, which scientists estimate at around 4.5 billion years. Archaeologists discovered a temple in the desert of the ancient city of Peru, which still features large stone blocks and a long staircase dating back 3,000 years. Scientists believe it was used in water fertility rituals in the city. Scientists found inside the temple a square shape that they believe was used to perform fertility rituals with water taken from the Zana River, which is near the temple. Religious monuments over 131 feet high were also found. The monument is located at the springs of the Zana River, about 500 miles from Peru's modern capital, Lima. This discovery is unique as it represents minor architecture in Lambayeque, but it was not announced for fear of looters who care about collecting treasures, especially since the site, after being discovered, was not well secured. The temple comes from a time when water was divine and used in a number of rituals and religious practices. Scientists were also able to determine that this temple was home to a sect of water worshippers by studying how the changes were made and what the altar, which has holes similar to those found in other temples of that period, looks like. The researchers, in a study published in the Journal of the American National Association for the Advancement of Science, found that Derek T. McLaughlin, a professor of planetary sciences at the University of Berlin, and his colleagues headed to the Atacama Desert in 2015 to study the ways of life there. In this study, which they supervised, the researchers discovered that although organisms dying on the Earth's surface and traces of DNA have previously been found, this is the first time we have found life still persisting in the Atacama Desert. He also added, We believe that these microbial communities can enter a long sleep for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years, in conditions very similar to those on the surface of Mars before they come back to life when it rains. When the researchers returned to the Atacama Desert between 2016 and 2017, they found that these microbial communities were in the process of returning to dormancy. But they were not dead. NASA has concluded in recent years that Mars had oceans, lakes and streams of water billions of years ago before the climate changed dramatically on the planet, leading to its transformation into a barren desert. Scientists still do not know why this change occurred, turning the planet into an inhospitable desert, so it is not ruled out that life may have existed on Mars at some point and evolved. Scientists are currently looking for any evidence of this. If life really once existed on the surface of Mars before its conditions became as extremely difficult as they are today, it cannot be ruled out, according to this recent study, that life forms could have endured somewhere beneath its surface, similar to the microscopic organisms in the Atacama Desert. The advancement of aviation led to the discovery of a treasure trove of ancient civilizations after remaining hidden for a long time and not being discovered from the Earth's surface. We are referring to the impressive Nazca Lines, which pilots discovered flying over the skies of Peru in the late 1920s, and which are now on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Nazca Lines extend over more than 500 square kilometers in the Nazca Desert, southern Peru. They include straight lines, geometric figures and artistic representations. The Nazca Lines have remained preserved thanks to the region's isolation and arid climate. These lines are believed to date back to the ancient Nazca civilization, which flourished between 200 BC and the year 600 AD. The numerous figures are similar to those found in textiles and ceramics from the Nazca civilization. The wide scope of the designs and the extensive area they cover suggest that they were drawn over centuries. But how did the Nazca people manage to draw these lines on the surface of the desert? The topsoil, coated with iron oxide, gives the lines their distinctive color. The top layer, which goes back about 30 centimeters deep, was removed to draw the designs, allowing the lighter layer to appear, creating the contrast between the two colors. The Nazca Lines are stunning evidence of human ingenuity, and have been the subject of fascination and study since their discovery. The London Hammer, also known as the London Artifact, is one of the most mysterious discoveries of the 20th century, or should I say, the most debated. Discovered in London, Texas, in 1936 by Max Hahn and a companion, the hammer was found embedded in ancient rock, leading to speculation about its age and origin. The hammer is an iron tool with a wooden handle and measures about 6 inches long with a diameter of 1 inch. Its size and shape suggest that it was used for fine work or with soft metals. The discovered hammer, despite not rusting, has parts of the handle that have turned into carbon, indicating a possible age. Carl Ball, who acquired it in the 1980s, suggested it was evidence of a pre-flood civilization, challenging conventional theories. However, this idea is controversial and is not scientifically accepted. Skeptics propose that the hammer became trapped in a limestone formation naturally. Although there are various explanations, some see the London Hammer as evidence of time travel or advanced knowledge in the past. In 1961, Wallace Lane, Virginia Maxey, and Mike Michelson made an intriguing discovery near a boat in California. This was no ordinary spark plug, but one that seemed to come from a time when spark plugs did not yet exist. This object was later known as the Coso artifact. It was initially speculated to be a misplaced object, possibly indicating the presence of an ancient advanced civilization or other extraordinary explanations. Like the London Hammer, Coso's artifact was encased in what appeared to be a 500,000-year-old natural formation. It became unusual immediately. The apparent age of Coso's artifact suggested that it might be a misplaced object. Finding a modern spark plug in a seemingly ancient geological formation led to speculation about time travel, ancient advanced civilizations, or extraterrestrial interventions. Although the surrounding material was initially thought to be a geode that takes a long time to form, many believe that Khoso's artifact, like the London Hammer, is probably a hoax. Despite doubts, it remains one of the most intriguing discoveries of the contemporary era. In 1922, one of the most significant finds in human history was discovered by archaeologist Howard Carter and Lord Carnarvon, the final resting place of the young pharaoh Tutankhamun. Before this, the tomb of the young Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun lay hidden beneath the sands of the Valley of the Kings, undiscovered for centuries. Many tombs in the valley had been looted over the years, but Tutankhamun's tomb remained elusive. Imagine the joy of archaeologists when it was finally found after years of meticulous searching. Carter made the discovery on November 4, 1922, when he found steps leading to a sealed door. Carter and Lord Carnarvon found Tutankhamun's intact tomb, filled with amazing objects such as statues, gold jewelry, chariots and weapons, including the pharaoh's iconic mask. A symbol of ancient Egypt, this mask is a stunning work of art made of gold with intricate details. The tomb provided valuable information about the life and culture of ancient Egypt, allowing historians and archaeologists to study the time of the pharaoh. The discovery also triggered Egyptomania, influencing art, architecture, and fashion. The story of the young king and the discovery of his tomb captivated people around the world, fueled by legends of curses. To this day, many believe in terrifying punishments for those who revealed Tutankhamun's tomb. Let's not go too far from Egypt just yet. Here is another unexpected discovery linked to this great civilization. In 2016, researchers using advanced particle physics techniques discovered a mysterious void in Egypt's iconic Great Pyramid of Giza. They used muon radiography, something quite similar to taking an X-ray. These particles, which come from cosmic rays that impact the Earth's atmosphere, can penetrate solid materials such as the stones of the pyramid. By measuring where more particles, known as muons, pass, scientists can detect voids or areas of lower density within the structure. This is how they found a corridor-shaped hole in the pyramid, which measured approximately 98 feet and had a gallery of similar cross-section to the narrow corridor that leads to the king's chamber. The purpose of this hallway is still a mystery. It could be a structural feature, like other voids in the pyramid that were built to redistribute its enormous weight, or it could be something else entirely. The story of the Derinkuyu underground city began in 1963, when a local homeowner was renovating his home and stumbled upon a mysterious room behind a wall in his basement. This accidental discovery led to an exploration that revealed an entire underground city extending several levels into the Earth's interior. Derinkuyu is not just a set of rooms and tunnels. It is a sprawling complex that could house up to 20,000 people, along with their livestock and food stores. This underground city comprises various rooms, including homes, stables, churches, warehouses, and cellars. The engineering achievements are astonishing, with ventilation shafts, water wells, and a sophisticated security system with massive stone doors that could be locked from the inside to protect its inhabitants. This ancient underground city is believed to date back to at least the 8th to 7th century BC, and is thought to have been built by the Phrygians, an ancient Anatolian people. However, it was expanded and used extensively by early Christians as a refuge to escape persecution, especially in the Byzantine era. Known primarily as a tourist spot, many people from all over the world traveled to Derinkuyu to see its beauty in person. In 1974, in Shaanxi Province, China, a group of local farmers digging a well stumbled upon one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. Instead of water, they unearthed pieces of terracotta statues. This chance discovery led to an incredible revelation: a vast army of terracotta warriors buried for more than 2 millennia. The Terracotta Army, as it is known, is part of the extensive mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. This underground army consisted of more than 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses, and 150 cavalry horses, all arranged in battle formations. Each soldier has distinct facial features, expressions and clothing, showing the remarkable dedication and skill in the craftsmanship of ancient Chinese artisans. The level of detail in these figures has provided historians and archaeologists with a wealth of information about the clothing, weaponry, and even hairstyles of the period. The site has also revealed ancient techniques used in sculpture and painting, giving us a deeper understanding of the technological capabilities of ancient China. Madagascar is a wonder of nature where you can encounter exotic animals such as lemurs and chameleons that are only found on this island. But the beauty of Madagascar is not limited to its living creatures. It also has impressive geological formations that defy the imagination. In the dry southwestern region, you can witness a majestic jungle, a stone forest where towering rock pinnacles rise from the ground like gigantic needles. It is a unique and surreal landscape that will leave you breathless. These limestone pinnacles emerged over millions of years, sculpted by persistent water erosion in the semi-arid climate. Dissolved limestone has shaped complex, jagged rock blades that extend up to 70 meters high. The stone forest looks like petrified trees from afar, but up close it is rocky and dangerous, with canyons and sharp rocks. It is a refuge for rare animals, although some species such as large birds and lemurs are no longer present. Some believe there are hidden treasures here, but walking in the forest is risky due to its confusing and rocky terrain. Despite the dangers, the lack of access has helped protect wildlife. However, human expansion and nearby mining threaten the existence of the stone forest and Madagascar's nature in general. Among the numerous hieroglyphs and reliefs carved into ancient Egyptian structures, an enigmatic image adorning a temple wall has sparked intense debate. The Light of Dendera depicts a strange light bulb-like object extending from a sacred pillar. Some fringe theorists believe this represents an electric light bulb, which would suggest that the ancient Egyptians had advanced energy technology. However, mainstream Egyptologists argue that it has a more esoteric meaning. The controversial image appears in the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, along the Nile River, south of Cairo. The temple was built in the 1st century BC. During that time, they carved a scene showing figures gesturing towards a pillar called Jed with a bulbous part at the top. Below, you see a shape that looks like a lotus flower and a lamp. Some believe this could represent an ancient electrical system, but there is no solid evidence to support that idea. The most common explanation is that it has a religious meaning, where the Jed pillar symbolizes stability and the bulbous part represents the sun god Ra. Since the temple was dedicated to the goddess Hathor, it is likely that this image has meaning related to religion and astrology rather than technology.